Good morning, students. This is Dr. Sharma, Professor, BBC Engineering College, Autonomous, Vadalaredu. Before we had discussed about anti-aliasing filter, is one of the important session in the DSP process block diagram, and now we are going to discuss about the most important feature, that is analog to digital conversion. So as we know that an analog signal is to be given, that is to be first of all given to the anti-aliasing filter, and later it will be given to the analog to digital conversion. In the analog to digital conversion, it consisting of sample and hold circuit. So in the sample and hold circuit, one of the important session is nothing but the quantizer. Before that we have discussed about the samplings and types of samplings, and now we are going to discuss about the quantization levels. After the sampling, the discrete time continuous signal still carry infinite information in terms of amplitude. So the quantization is the process to reduce the infinite information of the amplitude. Quantizer do the conversion of a discrete time continuous valued signals into a discrete time discrete values signal. So this is the most important session for converting of an analog signal into the digital signal, as we know that the DSP processors can accept only the digital signal. So the analog signal is to be converting into the digital signal. In this meanwhile process, the analog signal is to be converting into the discrete time continuous valued signal by using a sampling process, and then that discrete time continuous valued signal is to be converting into the discrete time discrete valued signal. This is nothing but the digital signal. So the value of each signal is represented by a value of selected from a finite set of possible values. So the quantizer, the A to D converter chooses a quantization level for each analog sample. So the number of levels of the quantizer, which is to be equal to L, is equal to 2 power an. So here n is nothing but an n-bit converter which chooses among the 2 power n possible quantization level. So let's take a 3-bit converter has 8 quantization levels because of 2 power 3. 2 cube is nothing but 8, and a 4-bit converter has 8 quantization levels. So with respect to that, the quantization step size of the resolution can be calculated by delta is equal to q, that is equal to r by 2 power n. So where r is nothing but the full scale range of the analog signal. The full scale range of the analog signal is nothing but the y max to the y min, and n is the number of bits used by the converter. So the resolution of a quantizer is the distance between the two successive quantization levels. So for a more quantization level, a better resolution, what is the downside of the more quantization level? So the strength of the signal compared to that of the quantization errors is measured by a dynamic range and a signal to noise ratio. So if the quantization levels are the more, then it gives a better resolution. But if suppose, for example, if the quantization levels are to be the below that one, so what happens? There may be some error is to be occur. That error is to be, we may calculate it. So while you are observing that it is a 4-bit quantizer, and this figure shows about the 4-bit quantizer, an analog signal is to be this one in the red one, and it is to be with quantization levels of this one, and that's why it is to be a 4-bit quantizer exam. So this 4-bit quantizer, suppose for example if we are taking that x of n is equal to 0.9 power n, where n is to be greater than or equal to 0, it is to be 0 when n is to be less than 0. So with respect to that, the blue lines and the red lines which are to be indicate some indications with respect to that, these are about the sampling levels. With respect to the sampling level, this is about the analog signal. So the analog signal and the sampling levels, with respect to the sampling levels, the levels are to be quantized here. That means the analog signal is to be converting into the digital signal process. This one digital signal, this is the important process. So but sometimes if that are to be the below the levels, so the errors may be occurred. That error is caused by the representing a continuous valued signal by a finite set of discrete valued signal. So The larger number of the quantization level, the smaller the quantization errors. So the quantization error can be calculated by the difference between the quantized level and the true sample level. So quantize what is the quantized level and what is the true sample level. That difference is to be knowing about the quantization error, if any errors are to be occur. If more number of quantizations levels are to be there, with respect to the smaller they reduces the quantization errors. So the most quantization errors are to be limited in size to a half a quantization step, that is equal to q or delta. So the equation for knowing about the quantization level, EQ of n is equal to quantization level error, quantization error is equal to x of n minus xq of n. X of n is nothing but a continuous valued samples minus the quantization levels. Quantization levels, we may get the quantization error. So, while observing this with some signal, let us consider a signal x of n is equal to 0.9 power n, where n is to be greater than or equal to 0. It is to be 0, where n is to be less than 0. So, here the blue lines are to be the original signals and the red lines are to be called as the quantized signals. So, this is the error produced while the quantization. If we observe this, some error is to be occurred with respect to that. That error is to be here when we calculate that one, what is y max is equal to 1 and y min is equal to 0, with respect to that 1 by 115, that is equal to 0.0667. It is the quantization error which is to be occurred from the signal or from the given example. So a quantization error can be reduced. However, if the number of quantization levels is to be increased, as then automatically quantization levels are to be increased. With respect to that, the quantization errors are to be reduced. It is a 3-bit analog to digital converter. If we observe here, some quantization errors are to be occurred here. And suppose, for example, if we take an 8-bit ADC, then automatically the quantization errors are to be reduced. Whenever the quantization errors are to be reduced, it is very easy to convert the analog signal into a digital signal. Whenever the discrete continuous signal is to be converting into the discretized signal, then this will be helpful for us by reducing the quantization levels, quantization errors. And the quantization of an unipolar data, maximum error is equal to full step. A unipolar quantizer deals with an analog signal ranging from 0 volts to a positive reference voltage. These are 8 max levels, and this is about the quantization errors. If we observe that this is an unipolar data, and unipolar data maximum error is equal to half step. There are two comparisons we are observing here. Suppose unipolar data with full step and unipolar with half step. So with respect to that, the quantization errors are to be reduced. Suppose, for example, an analog pressure are recorded using a pressure transducer as voltage between 0 to 3 volts. The signal must be quantized using a 3-bit digital code. So indicate how the analog voltage will be covered. So here we are using a full step quantization level. So with respect to that, the quantization step size is equal to Q is equal to 3V by 2 cube, that is equal to 3 volts by 2 cube, that is equal to 0.375 volts. The half of the quantization step is equal to 0.1875 volts. From this, we may observe this is about 0.375 volts. That is equal to quantization step size, and half step size 0.37 by 5 by 2, that is equal to 0.1875 volts. Suppose if we are taking a bipolar bipolar quantizer deals with analog signal ranging from a negative reference to a positive reference. So with respect to that, the maximum error is to be the half step. So with respect to that, if we observe a 3-bit conversion here, then this is about the analog signal and this is about the digital signal, and this one is the sample and hold circuit. So whenever the first point of the digital signal is to be observed, then the remaining is to be threshold, remaining will be hold, and then again wherever it is to be occurred. With respect to that, the discretized continuous signal is to be converting into the discretized discrete signal. So from that we may observe that the code is to be observed. That code is to be in the form of digital form or in the form of zeros and ones. So that is to be called as the digital signal code. Next one is about the dynamic range. So quantization errors can be determined by the quantization step. Quantization errors can be reduced by increasing the number of bits used to represent each sample. So we are increasing the number of bits then for each sample, then automatically the quantization errors are to be reduced. Suppose for example, unfortunately these errors cannot be entirely eliminated, then their combined effect is to be called the quantization error. Sometimes there may be a chance of occurrence of suppose if the errors are not to be completely eliminated, so that type of some noise is to be produced. That noise is to be called as quantization noise. So the dynamic range is the quantizer, is the number of levels it can be distinguished in the noise. So this dynamic range is to be obtained as 20 log 2 power r by q. So it's a function of range of signal values and the range of error values which are to be expressed in the decibels dB. So signal quantization noise ratio. So what is the formula for the signal quantization noise ratio? Here PQ is equal to 1 by n into summation of n is equal to 0 to n minus 1 EQ of n whole square. So EQ of n is nothing but, as we already know, that x of n minus xq of n whole square. Then we may get this one is to be totally called as a signal to quantization noise ratio form. Here the px is the power of the signal x before quantization and pq is the power of the error signal xq. So with respect to the 10 log base 10 of px by pq, we may get the signal to quantization noise ratio. That is one of the process wherever the quantization errors are to be in order to be completely eliminated, where we are using this one for reducing the quantization. And this is the internal process what is to be carried on this one. So while you are coming to the black diagram once again, so the analog signal, it is to be sampled and quantized and coding. So if we observe here, a continuous time continuous valued signal is the input signal that is to be sampled. Then the continuous time signal is to be converting into the discrete time continuous valued signal. So whenever it is to be quantized, then it is to be called as a discrete time discrete valued signal, and then it is to be given to the coding. This discrete time discrete valued signal is to be converting into the DT/dV. This DT/dV is nothing but the digital signal. So if we observe by graphically or by diagrammatically here, this is an analog signal. This analog signal is to be sampled here, and then it is to be quantized here, and then it is to be converting into the discretized time and discretized valued signal here. So this is the basic function what is to be involved before the giving this input or before giving this signal to the DSP processor. As we know that the DSP processor accepts only the digital code. Digital code means it is nothing but the combination of zeros and ones. So for converting of this analog signal to the digital signal, there we are using some converters are to be there here. This is the internal circuit what is to be there in the ADC converter. So in this ADC converter 1.25, this is about the threshold level. So before this one, that means if any level is to be occurred, this one is to be treated as 0, logic 0. And if it is to be above the 3.75, it is to be treated as 1. So in between that one, suppose for example, if we are taking two inputs, there are 4 possible outputs are to be there. Suppose for example, if below the 1.25, it will be treated as 0. Suppose if it is to be above the 1.25 and below the 2.5, so it is to be treated as 0 and 2.5 1. So with respect to that, it is the logic of 0 1, and it is 2.5 to 3, in between the 2.5 to 3.75, it is to be the 1.10, and if it is above the 3.75 to 5, it is about the 1 As we know that 0 voltage is to be considered as 0 and 5 volts is to be considered as 1 volt. So from that we may observe that with respect to that, the logic or convert the input is to be given to the DSP processor for processing. So this is after getting the input from the sample and hold circuit and this A to D converter, the code is in the form of digital. So after completion, after giving that code to the digital signal processor, based on the instruction given by the user, those instructions are to be implemented or executed. With respect to that, the process is to be carried on. After that processing, we may get the result in the form of digital form. So that digital code is to be the output for the digital signal processor. So it is to be in the form. Again, that are to be converted to the analog level. Why? Because means it only the output will be also analog signal. So convert that to the analog level and zero order hold and the anti-imaging filter and analog signal. This is the reverse process. The before the DSP process giving the input to the DSP process. One process analog signal is to be converting the digital signal, and here the process is to be in the reverse fashion. The digital signal is to be converting into the analog signal. This digital signal is to be given to the zero order hold and then given to the anti-imaging filter. Then you may get this one as the analog output signal. So this one is to be this anti-imaging filter. This one is to be called as the reconstruction filter. Reconstruction stage. So in the digital to analog conversion, once the digital signal processing is complete, the digital to analog conversion must occur. This process begins by converting each digital code in an analog voltage that is proportional to the size of the number of represented by the code. This voltage is held steady through the zero order hold until the next code is available one sampling interval later. So this creates a staircase like signal that contains the frequencies above WH. These signals are removed with a smoothing analog low pass filter, the last step in the DTA conversion, and then the signal what is to be occurred is to be the analog signal. So in the frequency domain, the high frequency elements represent the zero order hold signal appears as images and copies the original signal and spectrum situated around the integer multiples of the sampling frequency. So the smoothing analog filter removes these images and so is given the name of anti-imaging filter. Sorry. Only the frequencies in the baseband between the 0 and fs by 2h remains. So then this is about a 3-bit D2A converter. The digital signal is to be given to this one, and again we are reconstructed here. We may get the analog signal as an output. So comparing the signals in the A to D and D to A chain, the analog signal is to be converting into that original signal with reconstructed signal in the background and sample and hold signal with original signal in background. So both are to be the same in nature. So here these are to be again reconstructed with respect to that, and you may get the actual input signal what is to be given at the starting stage. So zero hold signal, sample and hold signal in background and reconstructed signal again. So there are 4 chains. Once if you observe that this is the signal and this is to be given to the sample and hold circuit. These 2 stages in the before the DSP processor and the later these 2 stages are in the after the DSP processing. This is to be the latter. So the again whatever we are getting as an output signal, that is the analog signal. So from knowing about this, what we are learnt from this digital signal processing introduction concept. An analog signal is continuous in both time and amplitude. Analog signals in the real world includes current, voltage, temperature, pressure, light intensity and so on. The digital signal contains the digital values converting from the analog signal at the specified time instance. An analog to digital signal conversion requires an ADC unit and low pass filter attached ahead of the ADC until unit block the high frequency components that ADC cannot handle. And third stage, the digital signal can be manipulated using the arithmetic. So the manipulation may include digital filtering or the calculation of signal frequency content and so on. And again, after completion of the processing, the digital signal can be converted back into the analog signal by sending the digital values to the DAC to provide or to produce the corresponding voltage levels and applying a smooth filter to the DAC voltage steps by using the reconstruction filter as we have discussed. And next, the digital signal processing finds many applications like digital speech and audio, digital and cellular mobile cellular telephones, automobile controls, vibration signal analysis, communication, biomedical imaging, image or video processing, and multimedia. These are the different application areas of this digital signal processing. After discussion of this one, you may able to. I hope you are able to know about the digital signal processing block diagram and what process is to be carried on in between the analog input signal to getting the analog output signal by using the DSP process. We observe that. So I hope you understood that, and thank you.